What's up, movie Trivia Schmoedown fans? I honestly don't know what to say anymore. I've fallen way behind on a lot of Schmoedown matches that I needed to watch and react to. I had to avoid conversation with my friends, specifically about the Schmoedown, so I wouldn't get spoiled. I went on a tear. I binged through a bunch of Schmoedown matches in a row just to, watch them and not be completely out of the conversation. And once I finally got all of them up on my channel, I decided, it's time for a little bit of a break. So I took a week break, 2 weeks break from the Schmoedown, and here we are in the same situation again. And now there are a bunch more Schmoedown matches that I need to watch and catch up on, because I'm already getting spoiled now. So, it is what it is. I mean, it's an endless race to the finish line with this stuff. Anyways, this time it's between Saul and Hanna. Saul is coming up of a pretty devastating loss to Amaru Moses in a live studio match. TKO, which is something I don't think he was expecting very much. Not something I think he's proud of. But here's an interesting part. He's going up against Hanna, who beat him last year. And he's really not happy about it, and we've seen how fired up he is this season in particular. So, will he beat Hanna? I don't know. I'm still not completely a Hanna fan. I mean, he did so much stupid stuff last year that I can't really call myself a Hanna fan. I like him a bit more this season with the Stars, but either way, I'm still much more of a Saul fan, if anything. So, obviously I will be representing the Den here today. And I'm also going to be participating myself. And this being Inner Geekdom, you can actually expect plenty of correct answers out of me, as opposed to regular singles matches where I basically know absolutely nothing. So here we go!
Welcome back, everybody, to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. It is the Inner Geekdom Tournament. We are getting farther and further into the first round. This is the third match of the first round of the tournament. I'm Christian Harloff, joined not as always, but it's getting more frequent, and I love it. It's the pit boss, Ken Knapsack. What up, Ken?
Hey, happy to be here. I don't have a retirement plan, so it turns out this is it, buddy. Good to see you.
Good to have you here. We've been having so much fun together on the desk. I can't wait to do it, whether it's in studio with you or at a live event. That's been talked about. Looking forward to that. But I'm looking forward to this match because you obviously have some history here with Hanna. Saul is somewhat newer to you in what he's done as a competitor in the Inner Geekdom.
Yeah, Saul's an interesting character and cat, without a doubt. He made an appearance calling into a radio show. He won some tickets to the Schmoedown, it seems. And I've met him, and he's intriguing, man. I don't know what's going on behind those eyes, which means he's a wild card to me. And I love that he's coming here and he takes it seriously, brings this great passion and knowledge. On the other side, Hanna, I don't know what to say about him, Harloff. I don't know what to say. I like the guy. I like the kid. It took a turn for the worse last season. Right. I don't know. Do I apologize? Do I send a letter and chocolates?
I don't think you did anything wrong. I think Hanna was the one in the wrong of that particular thing. But Hanna has had beef with many people, yourself being one of those people. But Saul last year, they met in the first round of this tournament last year. And everyone thought Hanna would just take care of Saul very easily. Well, that did not happen. He did get the victory, but Saul proved himself as someone to be feared. And even in the loss, he won the hearts of the fans, and then this season came out on a tear. He knocked out both John Humphrey and he knocked out Greg Alba and got himself to that number one contender match against Amaru Moses. And the question was, in the pressure situation, did it get to Saul? It was because he wound up getting TKO'd against Amaru Moses, and did he make some mistakes? He's not a rookie, but it seemed he would tell you he made some mistakes. He wants Hanna. He wants Hanna bad. Will today be Saul's day, or will Hanna get the best of Saul once again?
I don't know. You look, and here's the thing about Saul. This is a guy, you can tell he's probably been in a few knife fights on the Lower East Side. So I don't know if pressure's the thing, but sometimes maybe you get in your head about wanting to prove what you already know about yourself to the world, and maybe that could be the problem, where Hanna's pretty convinced in his own mind that he's great. And you know what? I don't disagree with that. I like the guy. I'm here to see what he's ready to do.
All right, let's see how we got where we are. A lot of heat between these guys. Here we go.
Saul, Kate, the den. Well, I'll tell you what's right in front of you. Judgment Day.
Keep whistling through the graveyard, Brandon, because when people do that, their story always ends in that graveyard.
Enjoy the smack talk while you can, because it won't last long. You're nothing more than a Collider Live phone call that got through the line one too many times.
It left a scar, it left some scar tissue. And that acquainted me with a very lonely, dark feeling that I have no interest in ever meeting again.
Palladium, wrong movie, buddy. Wrong movie. Great attempt, great attempt. You know what we call attempts in this league? Losses, so...
If you look at what Brandon Hanna did last season, he's very selfish. There's something that Roxy has done where he said, okay, look, you know, I took this one on the chin, but now I'm going to brush myself off and I'm just going to play again.
I think I finally have a manager who gets me, understands me, who sees my value, knows my worth.
How bad do you want to face Brandon Hanna again? Tell me.
I want it more than I want my next breath. You know, I have a vision board with this kid's head on it, all right? I will extinguish Brandon Hanna. Brandon Hanna sure as hell knows it. He knows I'm coming. He knows his Inner Geekdom career has to collide with me. My preparation was not what it should have been. I'd altered it because of the logistical issues with traveling, and I know better.
So we're bringing the intensity back. Okay, we're gonna come angry, and that's how it's gonna go.
I'm not gonna be happy whoever I play. Just know that.
This is a guy that gets mad at himself for going to multiple choice.
Yeah, Saul's gonna be fired up.
He's furious.
Not only is Saul going into the tournament now, he gets to face the Hitman, Brandon Hanna, and you know that he wanted that match, and that match is going to happen now.
Brandon should have just let me win. The Schmoedown would have been a much calmer place. Anyone who thinks they're going to be playing me this year at any point, go ahead. Walk around thinking I'm at my ceiling.
Yeah, no love lost there, Ken, between both Saul and Hanna, both taking shots at each other. Hanna very confident that he will win this match once again and get himself back into the Inner Geekdom spotlight. And it's interesting because Roxy Stryer not able to be here today, and first-time manager Christy V will be managing Brandon Hanna. How will that have an effect? What will the dynamic be with Christy and Brandon? Brandon, as you know, is not someone who likes to just be managed by anybody. So will he have a good dynamic with Christy? I guess we're going to find out.
Hey, you know what? The manager role can make or break you. I know. I broke a lot of people. So I'm interested to see what a new face, a new voice, a new, a bit of advice in your ear, what that can do. That's a wild card as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia Schmoedown. 3 rounds in the Inner Geekdom division. Introducing first, representing the Stars, with a record of 4 wins, 4 defeats, and 1 knockouts. He is Brandon Hitman Hanna. Brandon, the Hitman Hanna. Brandon, we haven't seen you in a little bit. Here you are on the IG. Got to ask you, man. I did see you in the audience for Collision. You were there watching that match. How did you feel? I saw the big smile on your face when you heard TKO when Moses won. What were you thinking? You knew you were getting Saul right away, didn't you?
I did, and first of all, I'd like to say, what's up, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Brandon Show. This is the show where we meet once a year, and what do we do on this show? Well, we make Saul's life a living hell, and how do we do that? Well, we utterly embarrass him at movie trivia in the Schmoedown Inner Geekdom tournament. We got a great show for you here today. We're going to talk about how Saul's never won a 3-round match. He's never answered a 5-pointer correctly. And he gets TKO'd by some guy whose biggest accomplishment was beating Moose Haas, I suppose. And we're going to talk about Ken Knapsack on the desk. Wow, didn't see that coming. Good help must be hard to come by these days. But before we get into all that, let me answer your question, Christian. Yeah, I loved seeing Saul get TKO'd, and I knew I was going to play him next. And I was like, that's what I get to do next. TKO Saul. Wow. Sucks for him, but great for me.
Ken?
I mean, I don't get it. I love Brad. I love his his new look. He's loosey goosey. He looks like he's at the free drink hour at a business conference. I'm here for him, and he just attacks me, Christian. I'm hurt.
Well, I mean, that would make sense. Look at the history, and there's this history between not only Hanna and you, but Hanna, Saul has been talking before the tournament, before Moses, how he's wanted this rematch with you, how he's wanted to show you that was a fluke last time. How do you feel about the words of what Saul has said and the gimmick infringement?
Well, it's absolutely no fluke at all. And Ken, I love that you brought up my shirt. I actually stole this out of Jacoby's closet. It fits like a glove. Imagine that. But no, yeah, not a fluke at all. I can't wait to beat Saul again. I don't know why the polls are skyrocketed in his favor when, again, he's never beaten someone not a part of the Real Rejects YouTube channel. No offense to those guys. They're great competitors, but they're not on my level. And the last time I played someone on my level, Amaru, he got TKO'd. And the last time before that, he played me and he lost. And it's going to happen again. And again, I feel bad for the guy, honestly, but I'm just here to have fun. I'm here to play movie trivia, and I'm here to embarrass Saul on a yearly basis. See you next year.
All right. Well, look, you could potentially do that once again in the first round. So thank you, Brandon Hanna. We'll see you in just a minute. And his opponent, representing the Dead, with a record of 2 wins, 2 defeats, and 2 knockouts. This is Saul, all business, liking the look here, my friend, and I know you have to sit back and listen to Brandon Hanna talk. Thoughts, comments, what do you got?
Brandon Hanna has a weak heart, and I'm going to rip it out of his chest.
Kalima!
Ken?
Nope.
Wow, I think that was a line from Last Mohicans, and I'm backing off of this man in an alley.
Came to my head.
All right, so Saul, I gotta ask. It seems like you don't want to do much talking today. Normally, it's the Saul show. There's an intro. There's a monologue. Is any of that still anything that you want to do? You want to just get down and take on the Hitman?
This is a very special episode of the Saul Show. Very special. And by the way, Brandon, speak a little faster. It's not like we don't know you're nervous or anything. Just speak a little faster there, Sonic.
All right, listen. I think we've heard enough here, Saul. Although, Saul, I got to ask you, man, before we get into it, I know you want to play, and I get it. Coming up, there wasn't too long ago where you had that match against Amaru Moses. Knowing right away that you're going to get Hanna, does that inspire you right away? Or do you have to kind of lick your wounds first before you start training again to take on the Hitman?
I'm just correcting a deviant timeline. It doesn't, my opponent doesn't alter my preparation. I've said that time and time again. This is no different. I'm just taking out some trash and I'm fixing a mistake from last year. That's all this is.
All right. Well, good luck to you, sir. And now we're going to bring in Brandon Hanna. Our competitors are here. Round number 1 is about to begin. Ken, what are the rules?
All right, my friends, listen up. I think you know them, but let's get on the same page. Each competitor here will get 10 questions from 10 different corners of the Schmoedown Inner Geekdom universe. There's no penalty for missing a question in round 1, and there is no stealing in round 1. Questions are worth a point, and Christian and I will be asking these in an alternating fashion. Competitors will have 15 seconds to write down their best attempt and an answer on their whiteboards. Once we ask you by name or nickname, please show that you wrote what you wrote to the camera while verbalizing the answer into the microphone. Each competitor has 3 uses of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. Not sure you heard a question right? Want to buy yourself another 15 seconds? Use that rule. Each competitor also has 1 challenge to them that can be utilized at any point during the match. Competitors may initiate the challenge. We'll bring in your manager. It'll be up to the manager to confirm and then ratify the challenge is taking place. We also ask competitors to keep their hands up where we could see them for the entire duration of the match.
All right, so Saul's green screen has gotten dramatically better, and Brandon Hanna is ready to go. So I ask you, Saul, are you ready?
Yep.
Brandon, are you ready?
Saul, let me say it at a pace you can understand. I am ready.
Just as boring as ever.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown. 3 rounds in the Intergeekdom tournament. All right, Ken, I'm glad you're getting a kick out of two people who just don't like each other.
Christian, you know I don't laugh at anything. Those two guys made me laugh.
Good. All right, here we go. We're going to start with graphic novels. All right.
You want me to go first?
Oh, you do the evens.
Good to see you, buddy. Okay.
Which 2014 graphic novel adaptation from director Stuart Beattie features the characters Dr. Tara Wade, Gideon, and Zuriel?
Did Saul move to the suburbs between the intros and now?
Well, he's got a great green screen, as I was mentioning, Ken. It looks like, it's a nice, I feel like I want some iced tea with him at the moment. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hands up, please. And we start with Saul.
Stop working.
I, Frankenstein?
Yes, Brandon.
I didn't have it. I guess I did tomorrow.
All right, so
Okay,
Saul
that
goes
was
up
weird.
1-0. And now we get to question 2.
Question
Give me a
2,
second.
gentlemen, is in the category
I wouldn't have gotten
of
it either
Star
way.
Wars. Hey,
Hold
we've heard about that one. Here's your question. Did you hear that? Is the first line spoken in what Star Wars film?
So you want to hear something funny? Is that we have a
Did you hear that?
new sponsor, and I've been looking up some audiobooks, Ken.
Yeah?
Subscribed. And the first thing I see in Star Wars was your book. 5, 4. I listened to some of it. 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Hands up, please. We start with Brandon Hanna.
Well, I started writing
guess the
Rise
New
of
Hope.
Skywalker.
That is correct. And Saul.
Oh, yeah.
A New
It is
Hope.
A New Hope.
Yes, sir. So
The rush to
Saul
get a new marker.
going up. Not a very confident Brandon Hanna answer, but nonetheless, he gets it right. And now
Miracles do happen, Christian.
yeah, that's fair enough. Here's the third question for you guys. Comic book movies. You'll find Deados or Dedos, Deados, monsters disguised as humans that refuse to move onto the afterlife. In what film? I think I said that right, Ken? I'm not sure.
You know, in Intergeekdom, you and I are going to mess up everything, and the comments are going to hate us, but we're here, and what are you going to do?
I think they understand, actually. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. And Saul.
Is it Ghost World?
R.I.P.D.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that.
And Brandon.
No wonder I
R.I.P.D.
didn't get that one.
Saul keeps his lead 3-2 over Brandon Hanna as we get to question
Damn
4.
it, these
All right,
questions are
question
getting
4
tougher.
comes in the category of Batman. Batman. Which actress plays Catwoman in Batman the movie? I like keeping score at home, Christian, like I'm watching the Orioles and Yankees in 1989.
Did you watch
Joe
the
Black.
the other day? Did you watch the Phillies News match?
I watched some highlights, and the last highlight made me cry, but it was great.
Great.
Finally, I got one
2,
that I actually knew.
1. Pens down. Hands up, please. And we start with Brandon Hanna.
Eartha Kitt.
Lee Merriweather.
Yes.
No.
And Saul.
What?
Lee Merriweather.
You got it. All right. So Saul has not
Okay,
missed
I'm
yet.
just
And Brandon
embarrassing
Hanna only down by
myself.
1, 4-3, as we get into question 5.
Wasn't that
Transformers.
right in the show?
In what film will you hear the quote, "I'm asking you to look at all the junk and see the treasure. You got to have faith, Prime, in who we can be."
Well done, Christian. Christian, what was your first Transformer toy?
I want to tell you that it was the actual Optimus Prime truck, the ones that you could, that probably weighed like 87 tons. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Please repeat
1.
the question.
First one for Saul.
Please repeat the question. Please repeat the question.
I got you. Here it is. In what film will you hear the quote, "I'm asking you to look at all the junk and see the treasure. You got to have faith, Prime, in who we can be." Saul using his first.
Saul has the intensity of a hitman late for work.
He does. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. Hands up, please. And we're going to start with Saul. Saul, what do you got?
Transformers: The Last Night.
Saul, what do you got?
Last night, I didn't.
Incorrect. Brandon Hanna?
Transformers the movie.
Also incorrect. Looking for Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Last night. It's not a.
Age of Extinction. All right, so we are now going to question number 6.
Question number 6 comes in the category of Wizarding World. Wizarding World. In The Crimes of Grindelwald, what type of bird is the Lestrange family emblem? All right.
Yep.
Hanna writing this down pretty quick.
Yeah. Christian, you ever get drunk on butterbeer, which is non-alcoholic?
Yeah, a sugar drunk.
Oh, yeah, it's the best.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Hands up, please. We start with Brandon Hanna.
Raven.
It's a raven.
Yes, and Saul.
Finally, I got one.
Saul.
And it's a category I'm actually good at.
He's way behind.
There's a
Saul.
Saul.
Must be a serious delay there.
Yeah.
Is he in a multiverse?
Oh,
Unless he can't hear them.
Saul, turn it over. Turn it over, brother. No, we're in. All right, we got to figure something out here. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to. Hanna. You're right. Yeah, we don't know what's going on there. You got it, Saul. But we got to figure something out. All right, now question 8. Whoa! Magic. Saul just appeared somewhere else. All right, so now we are going to get to question 10. This is question 7. Excuse me, question 7, and this is dystopian time travel. All right, here we go. Character of Raven, just kidding, the T-800 has begun living as a human and goes by what name in Terminator Dark Fate?
Dystopian time travel. Clearly what Saul's been doing this entire match. Popping around. Now he's in an IKEA. It's
and
crazy.
I actually got it right.
Well, whatever it is, he popped up in good internet this time, so I'm all right with it. And
as I like a 5-pointer and I blew everyone away.
3, 2, 1. Hands down, hands up, and Saul.
Carl.
Yes. And Brandon Hanna.
Carl.
I'm not going to actually call you Carl.
It is now 6-5. Saul clinging to a 1-point lead as we get to question 8.
Question 8 comes in the category of Star Trek. Which actress plays Dr. Carol Marcus, a science officer who uses the pseudonym Carol Wallace to board the Enterprise in Star Trek Into Darkness? Don't forget that hole in there. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, gotta get that right.
Talking to yourself?
That's what I do. All of phase 3 of Schmoes. I just talk to myself in the corner.
Boogie. 5.
I saw this
4,
movie recently.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Hands up, please. Both hands there, Hanna. And now we got what? What's your answer?
Name.
Sorry, I had an itch. Alice Eve.
Yes,
Alice
and
Eve.
Saul.
I remember
Alice
the
Eve.
part.
That is correct on both accounts. So it is now.
Dang it.
Saul still has that 1 point lead. It is 7-6 as we approach question number 9. We're going to go to a mixed bag of questions here. Mixed bag. Out of the 4 MCU Avengers films, which was the only one to receive no Oscar nominations?
I'm not going to say much, Christian, because I don't want to upset Saul's internet.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Pens down. Hands up. And we are going to start, with Saul.
The Avengers?
Is incorrect. And Brandon Hanna?
I guess it's the same.
Looking for Age of Ultron.
Wow, I got it right.
I thought that was a trick.
Yeah, I figured.
Hannah had a chance to tie. Comes up short there, but it's still close. 7-6. Going to 10th and final question in round 1. Round 1 started last Tuesday. Category is animated. In the Adventures of Tintin, how many total miniature models of the unicorn exist?
That is another movie.
And this is when I'm definitely out of inner geekdom, Christian. I pack up my bags and leave them.
That's it.
Yeah.
Where is it here? And we got to 5.
I wrote down an answer
4,
that might not
3,
be correct.
2.
Repeat the question.
Second one for Saul.
All right, coming in category is animated in The Adventures of Tintin. How many total miniature models of the unicorn exist? It's like a philosophical question, too.
Very, very tough question. But hey, this is Inner Geekdom. This is the tournament. So
yeah,
you want to play at the elite level. You got questions like this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Hands up, please. And Brandon Hanna.
4.
3.
Yes. Saul.
2. Didn't have it. Fuck.
So we have a
Sorry.
tie game.
That.
Tie.
Thanks for the repeat, Saul. I would have said 2.
We have a tie game. It is 7-7. Brandon Hanna comes back with a big pull at the end, tying Saul. All right, so the way this is going to work here, round number 2, it is the wheel round. How's that go, Ken?
All right, the wheel round. You all love this round. You'll spin this big virtual wheel. Once you settle on a category, you'll get 5 questions from that particular realm. Each question is worth 2 points. Unless you need multiple choice, we'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1. Stealing, of course, is available in this round. We ask competitors to keep their hands up where we can see them for the entire duration of the match.
All right. So, Saul, you are the higher ranked competitor and you are tied. So you have an opportunity to go first or second. What would you like to do?
We'd like to go first, please.
I like to go first. All right. So with that, we're going to remove Brandon Hanna and bring in Kate Mulligan. All right, Kate, 60 seconds to talk to Saul.
You're playing better than he is right now. I know the score is tied, but there is a confidence in you. You are right where you need to be. You are prepped for this. This is your match. That's all I'm going to say to you. Keep taking your time. The use of the JTs was smart. You got to just, you know what? We're not trying to lose by still writing. So you're doing everything perfectly. The internet's on your side now. Let's do this thing. Let's keep this momentum. You're looking good, my man.
All right,
let's go.
So here is the wheel, and here's the spin by Saul. All right, the spin is in there, Ken, as you like to say.
Oh, sorry, I missed my line.
It's all right.
Take again. Spin is in, Christian. The spin is in.
And it's landing on mixed bag. 60 seconds to decide if you want it. Starting now.
I mean, what's...
It's depth. It's 296 films that I have to index statistically. There's better opportunities on the wheel.
Yeah.
Let's
Also,
spin again.
listen, and even if we get opponent's choice at this point, we get mixed bag. It's the same as what if we kept it. So yeah, I agree. Spin it again.
Please spin again.
All right, here's the spin. All right, so whatever Saul gets here now.
I really hope you land on Raven.
On what?
Raven.
Spider-Man.
Raven.
Spider-Man it is. So
very good last
All right,
time.
we'll take it.
okay, here we go. So Saul, you're going to get 5 questions in the realm of Spider-Man. Are you ready, sir?
I am ready. Yes.
Which actress plays the role of Peter Parker's mother, Mary Parker, in The Amazing Spider-Man?
Dang it. That's a good one.
Multiple choice, please.
Is it A, Embeth Davidtz, B, Carrie Coleman, C, Hannah Marks, D, Kelsey Asbill?
C, Hannah Marks.
It's incorrect. Brandon, for the steal, which actress plays the role of Peter Parker's mother, Mary Parker, in The Amazing Spider-Man? Is it A, Embeth Davidtz, B, Carrie Coleman, C, Hannah Marks, D, Kelsey Asbill?
D.
Also incorrect. Looking for Embeth Davidtz is the answer.
Really?
All right, Saul. Which Spider-Man villain said the following line? Join me. Imagine what we could accomplish together, what we could create, or we could destroy.
Pretty sure that was Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin.
The Green Goblin.
It's correct for 2 points.
Yeah.
Question 3.
Actually,
Who plays the role of Flash Thompson in both Spider-Man and Spider-Man 3?
Joe Manganiello.
Joe Manganiello.
That's correct for 2
Acceptable.
points. And for your final, for your 4th question. Which film features the line? That person who helps others simply because it should or must be done and because it is the right thing to do is indeed, without a doubt, a real superhero.
Is it Into the Spider-Verse? It sounds like a line from that movie.
Can you
5.
please repeat the question? Please repeat the question.
Your last one. Which film features the line, "That person who helps others simply because it should or must be done and because it is the right thing to do is indeed, without a doubt, a real superhero"?
Or maybe...
Spider-Man 2.
Is incorrect. Brandon? Which film features the line, "That person who helps others simply because it should or must be done because it is the right thing to do is indeed, without a doubt, a real superhero"?
Spider-Man 3.
Looking for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Whoa! I
So that was
can't believe
question
I...
4. Here is your
pulled
final
it. The more I
question.
heard
here,
the question, the more I doubted my answer.
Saul, who has a cameo as a snooty theater usher in Spider-Man 2?
Bruce Campbell,
Bruce Campbell.
also known as Mysterio.
2 more points. So Saul sees himself now
Sort of.
13-7. Brandon Hanna couldn't capitalize on the 2 misses,
Happy-
but Saul
I'm
did
happy
miss
they went
twice.
for, the
And Brandon
easy
Hanna
one for the last
is
question.
going to spin now. So 13-7. Saul still has a pretty nice lead here going into Brandon Hanna's spin. All right, we're going to remove Saul and bring in Chris TV. All right, Chris TV, 60
Hey,
seconds
Christy.
starting now.
How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing all right. Saul's making a lot of mistakes, but I'm not capitalizing, which is getting under my skin. But it's okay. We're gonna
Well, that's
crush
all right.
this round 2. And
Right. You didn't
how
spin
hard
that
could it
round.
be?
Right. You're not in charge
hard
of getting
could it
those
be?
questions. That's not your spin. You're fine. Saul is good, and so are you. And you don't have anything to prove. We know what you're capable of. You know what you're capable of. You've already done this before. So just trust your knowledge, trust your ability, trust the math when we spin this wheel.
Definitely, I got the power of Jacoby running through my veins. I can
Absolutely.
feel it.
All right, here we go. So
Jacoby
now
is
here
strong
is
with you
the
with this
spin
one.
by Brandon Hanna. And the wheel is up, and here's the first spin by the Hitman.
The spin is in, Christian.
Thank you. Thank you. We need to get you one of those shirts pretty soon. It's going to land on DC films. 60 seconds to decide if you want DC.
I
How
think
you
we
feeling,
talked
bro?
about this. I like this category, but I think we could do better.
Yep.
So-
Yep. I'm all about it. This is our chance to get some points on the board. So whatever you think is going to give you the most points.
Let's give it another go.
All right.
So here is the final spin by the Hitman. Whatever he gets here, he's got to take.
Hannah's prepared. He knows what to do. The good strategies in place.
Well, that is what he's trying to. He spun close to DC, and now it's away from DC, and it's going to land on scores and soundtracks. Scores and soundtracks. All right, so that's what Brandon Hanna is going to find himself at. Scores and soundtracks. All right, Ken. So they are back, and now there are 5 questions for the Hitman. Here we go.
That's right. 5 questions. Category of scores and soundtracks. Who composed the score for 2004's Catwoman?
It was... I mean, I'm guessing it was... No.
Timer. There it is.
I'll go multiple choice on that one, please.
A. Klaus Badelt. B. Elliot Goldenthal. C. John Ottman. D. James
That
Newton
movie's
Howard.
not good enough for James Newton Howard or John Ottman.
Can I get
guess
one
Klaus
repeat of those, please?
Oh, the choices. Yes, you
Badelt,
can.
Yeah.
because
All right. A. Klaus
it was
Badelt.
directed by
B.
Peter,
Elliot
which is
Goldenthal. C. John Ottman.
I believe,
D.
Peter
James
was a
Newton Howard.
music
Klaus
video director.
Badelt.
That's correct for a point.
Okay, I got that
All right,
one. I got
Brandon
that.
Hanna
okay.
using that.
Okay.
The choices there.
slowly
Now he
digging
gets the
myself
second
out of that hole
one.
that I
Here, second
buried
question. Here it
myself
is.
in the first round.
Well played. All right. In what Harry Potter film will you find the songs Do the Hippogriff and Magic Works, performed by the band Weird, Sisters?
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of
Can
Fire.
you dance like a
That is
hippogriff?
2 points.
Na 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 na
Congratulations,
na
man. He knows that
na.
Wizarding World. Well, all
I
right.
love
Hannah
that
within
movie.
3 now.
Say again?
Hannah is within 3 points.
Oh, that's right. There's a game on.
Yeah.
Great. I was just having fun talking Harry Potter with Brandon Hanna. All right, question 3. Who composed the score for the films R.I.P.D., Red, and Ant-Man and the Wasp?
It's Ant-Man and the Wasp, the one that's... Was it the same guy that did the score for Ant-Man?
5,
We'll
4.
do a repeat, please.
That's the first one.
All right. Who composed the score for the films R.I.P.D., Red, and Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Christoph Beck.
That's correct for 2 points. Good use of the repeat there. All right.
Oh, big pull by Hanna and finds himself now within one. Should he hit this with a 2-pointer, he'll take his first lead. Here is the question.
All right, question 4 out of 5. In 2004's The Punisher, country music star Mark Coley's character Harry Heck plays what song on his guitar to Frank Castle inside the diner?
Multiple choice, please.
A, In Time. B, Hurt. C, Still Running. D, The End Has Come.
It's probably not heard. I remember that one. I'm gonna guess The End Has Come.
The End Has Come.
That is incorrect. Incorrect, Saul. Here's the question and the answers here. In 2004's The Punisher, country music star Mark Coley's character Harry Heck plays what song on his guitar to Frank Castle inside the diner? A, In Time. B, Hurt. C, Still Running. D, The End Has Come.
Actually, I'm second guessing myself. It might actually
A,
be
In
Hurt.
Time.
That's correct for 1
Well,
point.
maybe not.
Steal.
Never mind.
1 point steal.
Big steal by Saul gets himself back to a 2-point lead. So now Brandon Hanna can tie the game should he hit 2 points here, or he's going to find himself down going into round number 3. All right, Ken, here's the final question for Brandon Hanna.
Fifth and final question, Brandon Hanna.
Branda.
Which Star Trek composer also wrote music for 1987 Superman, The Quest for Peace?
Jerry Goldsmith.
That is incorrect. Saul, question.
Oh, Saul knows this.
Which
He's excited.
Star Trek composer also wrote music for 1987's Superman, The Quest for Peace?
Alexander Courage.
That is correct for a 2-point steal.
Massive steal by Saul.
Wait.
Yeah?
You said Star Trek Alexander Courage?
Yep.
The question was, what Star Trek composer also wrote music for 1987 Superman, The Quest for Peace?
Alexander Courage wrote the theme. He wrote the theme to Star Trek.
Are you looking to challenge, Brandon?
Me. Didn't Jerry Goldsmith write
I don't
the
know.
theme
I
to
just because
Star Trek?
when I hear that, I think which composer, and he's not billed as composing any of the Star Trek movies.
His music is credited in numerous Star Trek films.
Oh, wait until there's an official challenge before you challenge back. So, Brandon, do you want to challenge?
Yeah, why not? I probably won't get another challenge.
All right. Brandon and Christy, your argument?
Yeah, if it's just the theme, I would think the composer would be that when you list the credits, it's for that specific movie. So maybe the theme would be something different. So
Kate,
who's
install
credited?
your counter.
If he is credited in the movie, then I mean, there's not actually a challenge here.
Fair enough.
The Star Trek theme by Alexander Courage is credited in multiple Star Trek films. He's in the credits. He's on IMDb. He's a Star Trek composer.
All right, so give us a moment.
I mean, I agree with Saul on this one. And I agree with Kate on this one. There really shouldn't be much of a challenge. But I still think
All right, we are
Brennan
back
has the
and
right
we
to
have
challenge
our
if he
ruling.
thinks
Ken, what say you?
It can give him an
All
edge.
right, I love breaking hearts. I got 2 to possibly break here. And after conferring over a cellular telephone, it was a great conversation. We caught up. It was a good time. But we also determined that though the challenge was understandable from Brandon in the sense of he wanted some clarity in the question, when you look at the research, Alexander Courage is listed on literally every Star Trek movie, TV show as the composer and additional music. So we are going to uphold the decision and the steal for Saul.
And with that, Brandon Hanna has lost his challenge, and Saul will go into round number 3 with a 4-point lead. It is Saul 16 to Hanna's 12. Okay, so Ken, we are at round number 3. What are the rules?
What are the rules? Indeed, we need a series of numbers from each of you competitors. These numbers will range from 1 through 16. We need 3 different numbers from each of you because each number, of course, corresponds to a unique category of inner geekdom movie trivia Schmoedown knowledge. Your first question is worth 2 points. Your second question is worth 3 points. And your third question, should we make it that far, which sounds like a threat, is worth 5 big points. Any JT rules and challenges we have left are still in.
All right, so we're going to start here with Saul. You do have the lead. You got 3 numbers. What do you got?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. And Hanna?
4, 8, and 15.
4, 8, 15 for Hanna. All right, so with that, we are going to remove Hanna and bring in Kate. All right, Kate, 60 seconds starting now.
I should have cleaned up my bedroom before I did this. Oh, sorry about that. Saul, you are. I mean, it's a good. That's a solid lead. It's a good cushion. So here's the challenge. Is right now, if we're gonna miss, it's because you don't know it, not because we answered too quickly. Because at this point, we don't have the benefits of a JTE. So right now, you're gonna have to be. I want you to use all 15, all 10, whatever it is, seconds to answer those questions. You look beautiful out there, my man. I can tell you're right in the right spot. How are you feeling?
I'm as good as I'm gonna be.
Okay, so let's milk this. Okay, take your time because I don't want you to know something and say the wrong thing. I want you to say the right thing because you know the right thing, and just take the time that you need. No JTEs left, so whatever it is, it is.
All right.
You are leading by 4.
Thank you, Kate. And now we're going to bring in the stars. All right, Christy, you got 60 seconds starting now.
Okay, so he's leading by 4, but you can beat him by answering a 5, which means then he would have to answer questions, and he's never answered a round 3 question correctly. So history is on our side here. So I'm not really worried about it because you can answer round 3 questions because you've done that before. Like, you've answered all of them. So I'm not really worried.
You certainly not hit a 5 before. I've overcome a larger deficit than this before. I wasn't as sharp in that round 2 for sure, but let's see how Saul does in round 3.
Yeah, and you have 2 of your repeats left, so use your time.
Category
you got this, Phil.
He's got 9.
All right, thank you so much to the stars. I never bring Saul back. All right, so we're going to start here with Brandon Hanna. Brandon, you chose category 4. It's going to start you out with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Here you go. Brandon, who voices Leonardo in 2014's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Johnny Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville.
That was a
2 points.
that was
Brandon
a
Hanna
three-pointer
has
in
now
one of the
tied.
matches
Excuse
I
me.
played.
He's within 2. So he's got to hit his 3-pointer here. And
Okay.
he chose category 8. And that would be DC films. DC for Brandon Hanna. All right, Brandon Hanna for 3 points. In Catwoman, Patience Phillips works in what department of the cosmetics company Adair Beauty?
Accounting. Guess we're gonna have to watch that movie again. Definitely not looking forward to that.
Perfume.
Looking for the art department. The art department. All right, so interesting situation at the moment.
Brandon misses this.
Brandon Hanna hits it.
then
He forces
Saul
Saul
wouldn't
to
have
answer some
needed to
questions in the
answer
third
round
round.
3 questions.
However, if not,
After
Saul
all.
will have his 3rd KO and move on to the 3rd round. Brandon Hanna, you chose category 15, my friend. Transformers is your question
Robots
here.
in disguise.
5-point question. Here it is. In Transformers: The Last Night, what is the name of Isabella's small robotic friend?
Oh, he's definitely thinking about it. He's gonna use some
5.
GTEs.
I'll do a repeat.
All right, second one for the Hitman. In Transformers: The Last Night, what is the name of Isabella's small robotic friend?
It's the type of questions that you either have it or you don't. That's the problem with 5-pointers. Sometimes you either have it or you don't because you watch the movie X amount
5.
of times that you
I'll do a
remember it,
repeat.
Last
or it's
one.
one of those questions where you really need
In
all the
Transformers:
JTEs
The Last Night,
to
what
think
is the
about
name
it
of Isabella's small
to come up with
robotic
the answer.
friend?
That's the beauty of the 5-pointer.
Time
And
clock.
I think he's got... No, I think that was this last JTE now. I was going to have to answer in...
5.
Sebastian.
And your winner, by way of technical knockout, Saul! Saul does it. He beats his arch nemesis with a TKO. Saul has done it. What a victory by Saul. It was 3 different locations in order to do it, but he did it. Quote the Raven, Saul has beaten Brandon Hanna. All right, so we are now going to move Saul and Kate into the winner's circle with Jen Sturger. Ken, so that was a hell of a match there for Saul, and it was going back and forth. They were like, it was just 2 guys scrapping and fighting, and it was that round 2, that Spider-Man round. What was so interesting about that round was it looked like Saul had missed. If Brandon Hanna capitalizes in that Spider-Man, it's a very different game.
Yeah, Saul left the front door open, which is also where he was running in and out of to get better internet. And I thought Brandon Hanna played a great game and some strategy. Maybe he got in his head. He did admit, and Jen's going to ask better questions than I could ever about what was going on in his head. I think he's a talented competitor, and sometimes if you start slipping, maybe you doubt where you're at. But I could be off base with that. I think Hanna really brings a lot to it. But, man, Saul just kept one step ahead the entire match.
He's very determined. You can tell he was very determined, and this was something that he wanted, and you can tell from the second he entered until the end there. And Brandon Hanna was right. Saul has not had to answer any of those questions on the winning side, and he doesn't have to do it again. He's 3-2 with 3 knockouts now, and that's got to feel good for him because now he's done it against Brandon Hanna. They're tied at 1-1. I'm sure this is not the last time we'll see these 2 tangle, but it will be the last time we see them tangle in the tournament because Saul is now moving on to face either Chance Ellison or Moose Haas. But more on that and a lot other things. Got Jen Sturger with Saul and Kate Mullen.
Saul, it's so good to see you, especially back in the winners column. The last time I spoke with you, obviously, things looked a little bit different. What does this win mean to you today?
Not much. It was just another day at work. And that's all it was. I got home from Los Angeles after the Moses match, and I went right back to work. And today is no different than that Monday where I picked myself up and just reinventing my product. You have it was just another. It was a good day at work. That's all it was.
It was a good day.
I like the sound of that. Kate, you've got to be feeling pretty good about this, especially, like I said, the fact that it was against Brandon Hanna, and it's got to be a good moral victory today.
Yeah, I mean, this is to Hannah's credit, he was very patient with the technical difficulties we were having today, and I actually thank everybody, the crew, everybody for bearing with us on that. A group of professionals here. What I will say is that, like, yeah, you know, when Saul doesn't have to answer round 3 questions, he doesn't have the opportunity to get them right. So sorry we couldn't prove that he can get round 3 questions right too today. But no, this is the Saul. This is the Saul I know. I knew him last year. This is the guy that I thought was going to beat Hanna last year. This is the guy that did it this year instead. This is the guy. This is the guy that people are excited about. This is the guy I've been excited about. The amount of work that this man has put into this. And you can listen. You can talk all you want about how he takes it so seriously. You're welcome. He takes it that seriously, because then we get a match like this. Then we get a match where he's making steals left and right, where he's tied at the beginning, and then suddenly he's got a 4-point lead, and the next thing you know, it's a TKO. So you're welcome that the man takes it this seriously, and this is why. It's because of victories like this.
You know, you said you can talk all you want. Well, Brandon obviously did. He talked a lot. You stayed quiet. Is this a new thing for Saul? Like, is it less about the Saul show in terms of entertainment value and more just about getting work done?
Absolutely not. This was me telling you, you want me to knock people out, I can knock them out. I can go and get my knuckles dirty. I can go 15 rounds if you want. There's not a type of fight in the Schmoedown I can't come in and win. And that's all this was. I was clipping the deviant timeline. I should have never lost to Brandon Hanna last year. It was a fluke. everyone who pays attention to the Schmoedown knows it was a fluke, and all I did was remind everyone of that. We're now back on the real prime timeline, and the Saul show is going network. It's going to go bigger than ever. This was just a really good day at work, and I need to thank each and every one of you who are still tuned in, who still are paying a subscription to Prime Saul Show, all right? Because you're going to get a lot more of it. I'm just getting started. Thank you for your patience, by the way, everyone, today. And Jen, it looks like you're feeling better. I hope you are.
Yeah,
Look
Baby
good.
steps every day, man. Baby steps every day. I appreciate that a lot.
Tell me about it.
So now you get to round 2. You're either going to face Moose or Chance. Is there a preference there for you at all, or is it just kind of like put whatever in front of you?
I like the idea of what Chance Ellison the idea of being able to step in with a colossal heavyweight like a Chance Ellison and push myself and see what that brings out of me is a very exciting proposition. I will not sleep on Moose, especially if he gets past Chance Ellison. That I'm not sleeping on him already, but if he does that, I'll tip my cap to him. But Chance Ellison, that's a draw right there. Saul versus Ellison, in my opinion. So I would love to meet Chance at the table.
I think a lot of people out there are clamoring for that same matchup. So congratulations on a great win today. Like I said, best of luck to you in the tournament, and can't wait to see what you guys come up with.
You have no idea how much that means to me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
So obviously a very, very happy Saul. And this is a big win for him. Not only does he get past that loss of Collision, he beats Brandon Hanna and he advances to the second round. And he picks up 3 points for the Den. So Saul's got to be feeling good. Yeah, I don't know. This is a dangerous competitor when he's locked in like this.
Yeah, he mentioned it himself, that flight back from L.A., that big loss, he probably had all the time in the world to think about this. And that is a long, dark tea time of the soul. And if you land and emerge a better person and a stronger competitor, more power to you. And it seems like that's what he did today.
Yeah, I agree. And, look, Brandon Hanna was hanging in there, and I think he'll probably say the same thing about that second round. I think that if he steals one of those questions, it's a very different game, but he wasn't able to do it. But a lot more from Brandon Hanna, Christy V. They are with Jen Sturger right now. Jen?
Brandon, the second interview is obviously the hardest, always. Tough loss today. Where do you feel like this really went off the rails? I'm assuming you're going to say round 2. I mean, besides all the technical glitches, which, by the way, hats off to both of you for staying in that match, because I know that stuff like that, I can only imagine how rattling it is.
Yeah, well, now I've officially had more second interviews than first interviews in Inner Geekdom, so that's fun. But yeah, this was an interesting match. This was a tough match. Saul won. He beat me, but I mean, I don't think he played well. I just think I played worse. There was 3 points of steals opportunities from him in round 2 that I couldn't capitalize on. He capitalized on mine.
I really think that's what it came down to. Is you said it yourself. You kind of outplayed yourself by not capitalizing on his mistakes and those opportunities that you had to get points on the board.
For sure. If I can capitalize, like Christian said, like you just said, it's a totally different game. I studied really hard for this match. I did. I had a lot of friends in my corner. Sabrina was there for me every single night while I'm sitting in front of the TV and the computer cramming trivia facts into my brain. I had all the support in the world. It just, it sucks when the questions don't fall your way. I play along the other matches. When the questions do fall my way, I feel so confident. And then you get a Transformers The Last Night question for your 5-pointer. And God bless Saul, he knew it. I didn't. That movie's awful. So it just comes down to bad luck. It seems a lot more than it should, but I'll hang in there. I always do.
What do you think that you might have looked past Saul, especially after his last performance, or do you think you underestimated him in your preparation?
I don't think so. I've always known Saul was a threat. It's my job to come up here and belittle him and make him feel small and act like this is going to be a walk in the park, but I'm not underestimating any of my components. Ever. It's just, this is my job to do that.
I'm not
to be a representative
underestimating any
of
of his
stars,
components.
Christy
Not
represented me
competitors,
so well today,
not
represented the
opponents,
faction so well today.
components.
As my manager, she made me laugh. She kept me calm, cool, collected.
He's a machine
questions didn't
now.
fall my way, but you know, I never underestimated.
He's got components.
Yeah. Speaking of Christy, first time managing, how did that feel? A little bit different?
First time managing.
Yeah,
is a
it's so much
Schmoedown.
nicer when the pressure is not on you to like remember
managed the guy that
Inception
beat
and
me in my
funny
debut
people.
match.
Also,
Just wanted to point
it's
that
nice
out,
when the
just
questions
saying.
aren't being asked of me, and I could just pay attention to the game. And
Well,
I
I've
learned.
managing
Did you feel like
firsthand.
you learned anything from that manager's perspective that you can take into your life?
Again,
as a
she was a
competitor moving
manager in the
forward?
pan lane.
Yeah, just staying focused, keeping your head in the game, and you can't let stuff
managed the guy that beat
build
me.
up. First round is first round, second round is second round, and anything
She's
can happen
got
at any
Mutant
point in the game.
energy.
And you just have to stay focused and keep your head in the game. And if the questions fall your way, you can win. You can beat anybody on any given day if the questions fall your way.
Well, Hannah, obviously, take aside your rivalry from Saul. He's going to have to face Chance or Moose. Now that you're going to be just watching the rest of the tournament, do you have any wagers on who might win that match?
Between Saul and the winner of that, I don't know. Chance and Moose is going to be tough, but whoever ends up playing Saul, Saul's going to have his work cut out for him. Those are two competitors you cannot give up 3 potential steal points against. You can give them up to me and still walk away with a TKO, but I don't think with Chance or Moose. So he's going to have to really, I think, hunker down. And if you got to go to multiple choice for all 5 questions, go for all 5 questions, but do not give up those steals against competitors like that. I know I just gave up 3 myself. So.
But hey, look at it this way. If Saul goes all the way, then you can be like, you know what? I lost to the guy that won the whole thing. So
I mean, that happened last year with the teams tournament with the odd couple. I still get no respect in teams. So it is what it is.
That is true.
Oh, tough loss today, man. But always pleasure seeing you, and you'll bounce back from this, no doubt.
Thanks. Pleasure seeing you as well.
Take it easy, guys.
See you, Jen.
All right, Ken. So obviously, look, Brandon Hanna, I think, was pretty honest inside of that and said it's not necessarily that Saul played so great. I missed some, but Saul won the match. And, and Brandon Hanna is a very good competitor. And I'm also very curious, and I've said this about all the competitors now. Brandon Hanna really shines in that in-studio spotlight, in the live spotlight. So I wonder if the digital age, if Brandon Hanna has outlived the digital age like a lot of other competitors have.
Outlived? I hope not. I don't want to outlive a lot of things in life anymore, Christian, but I'll tell you what, maybe you're right. Maybe you're true. Maybe the adrenaline falls down. I mean, I'm sitting here in my underpants and socks. You can't see it, and I got to step up my game. But that might be a reason. But I would think listening to that Brandon Hanna, that he would give no excuses other than the facts. He lost the match today. He's going to work hard to get better. He already knows what he's capable of. He talked about the teams thing. He feels he gets no respect. He's going to only really has to prove it to himself with each match coming forward.
Well, it was a great match. It was a lot of fun to call with you, my friend. But Saul is going on to the next round, and that will be the winner of Moose Haas versus Chance. That match will be airing next week, and it will be from the Scum and Villainy Cantina. So make sure everybody here check that out. So many great things we have coming up. We have a #1 contender match between Final Exam and Lightning Time. That's coming up. Can Ethan Irwin get yet another shot at a title if he's able to defeat Final Exam to get a teams under his belt? Speaking of Ethan Irwin, he's going to be battling Marisol McKee in September. That is the first female competitor we've had challenge for the singles championship since Clark Wolf in 2018. So that's going to be a historic night. Make sure you check that out. We have a lot of fun live events coming up. New York, Brooklyn, October 9th on the undercard. Round 2, we have a match. And that match is Griffin Newman versus Josh Horowitz. That is going to be a crazy round 2 match. So make sure you check it out. And we're going to find out who's in that #1 contender match. The title match between either Ethan Irwin, Marisol McKee. They'll be going up against is it going to be Chance? Is it going to be Snyder? Is it going to be Collins? Is it going to be JT? We're going to find out pretty soon. But Ken, this was a hell of a match. Thank you for calling. It's always great to see you.
A lot of fun to be here. Saul's great. I know sometimes he looks like he sold pills to Billy Graham at Madison Square Garden in '78, but he's a great guy, great competitor. I love what he brings to the Schmoedown here. And you know what, buddy? It's been a long time since you and I sat and had a chicken salad sandwich. Who would have thought this is where we'd end up?
hey, maybe we can still do that, my friend, because we look forward to seeing you in person. I can't wait to call a match with you in person again, my friend. So check out Ken and everything he's doing. And yeah, that's it, everybody. Thank you for joining us at the tournament. So many tournaments going on. If you're brand new to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you check us out on the podcast feed. Join Patreon, patreon.com/Schmoedown, and the whole gang is putting all the work in. Everybody at Skybound, the great post team, everybody that we have here. Thank you, Ken. Thank you to Jen Sturger and everybody involved. We'll see you next time.
Well, a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I wasn't 100% sure Saul was going to win this, but I'm sure as hell happy he did, and what a way to win by a TKO. And for me personally, this might be one of my toughest round 1 matches ever. I only got 3 points in that, and maybe I should have known Alice Eve. Maybe there's some questions there I could have gotten and missed, but overall, I think 10 points is solid enough. Solid enough specifically on a match like this. So sometimes it just comes down to the newer categories. Sometimes it just comes down to, the questions are just getting better. And that's really all you can say after watching a match like this. The questions, especially in IG, are getting hella better. And I'm happy, because it actually makes the league and this division in particular much more competitive. And I enjoy seeing it, even though the drawback to that is that I almost never get any points. Well, maybe not almost, but not as well as I used to. I'll say that. Anyways, I think I got enough time and brain activity power to watch one more match, and then I gotta retire, because I still have so many other matches that I need to watch before new ones start showing up, and I don't want to be too much behind again. So I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Hello again, everybody! I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.